Hey, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Solomon SK for Coffee and RPGs, where I cover the latest news, trends, and updates for the MMO and RPG gaming genre. With that being said, we do have a lot of news to cover, so if you guys got your coffee or beverage of choice, let's go over them together. Cheers to you guys. So we'll go ahead and cover all the articles from altchar.com that I thought were worth mentioning. First one, Avowed leak vast open world large bosses mod support on Xbox coming in 2022. And really quick, if you didn't know, this is Obsidian Entertainment's upcoming Xbox Series X exclusive, and they are the creators of Outer Worlds and Fallout New Vegas. And it goes on to read that thanks to a reliable Xbox and Obsidian insider Sponger, we have a ton of details about gameplay, open world, characters, story, and more. However, this is not official info, so take everything with a grain of salt. And some of the things that I found interesting in this huge list include fully open world, much larger than Skyrim, big focus on world reactivity, lighting and next-gen AI systems and physics, special focus on physics with magic systems, real-time weather systems, rivers with specific microphysics systems. I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty awesome. Mod support, obviously, as I stated above. You'll be able to have companions, but different from what they have in the Outer Worlds. For now, the idea is to keep the you can kill everybody in the game option, which is truly amazing, and the target date is late 2022 or early 2023. Now, that's a lot of details, as the article continues to say, some pretty juicy ones. If the leak is indeed true, then it is safe to say that Obsidian aimed to create one of the biggest RPGs ever. We know that this game is something that the studio always wanted to make, so it's not surprising to see such ambitious gameplay features listed in this leak. And in their next article, World of Warcraft Shadowlands rated for the Xbox Series X. World of Warcraft's upcoming expansion Shadowlands has been rated for the next generation console Xbox Series X by Brazilian classification agency, suggesting a console release in the near future. And as you can see here, we have a screen capture of the actual classification in Portuguese. And it goes on to read that the rating has been updated today, July 27th, and it includes two versions, PC and Xbox Series X, but we could not find any rating for the PlayStation 5. But they also warned to take this with a grain of salt, considering that this is still a sort of a leak or a rumor and even unconfirmed information. So again, take it with a grain of salt. Next, Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strickers, is coming to the West, Koei Tecmo confirmed. It looks like Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Striker, is set to release in North America and Europe, according to the financial presentation by Koei Tecmo, who listed the game for PlayStation 4 and Switch in North America and Europe regions. Unfortunately, Koei Tecmo financial report does not mention when exactly the game comes out to our side of the region, unfortunately. Next, Everwild is yet another gorgeous IP from Rare's Kitchen. During the latest Xbox Series X games presentation, you may have seen Everwild, a gorgeous looking new IP coming from Rare, the studio you may know for Sea of Thieves. And they do go on to say towards here the bottom, knowing Rare and their departure from standard shooters and action titles with Sea of Thieves, it makes us think that Everwild is also of that ilk, even if it does immediately suggest an RPG of some sort. Lastly, from altchar.com, Guild Wars 2 voice acting coming to new Fractals soon, story later. ArenaNet updated the Guild Wars 2 fans with the status of voice acting in the newer content, which is disrupted by the global sickness that I'm pretty sure I still can't mention. According to them, recording sessions are back and release windows for voiceovers have been announced. So when will they be implemented? Well, it says here towards the bottom, we will have to wait to get voices back for roughly 2 months at least, unfortunately. Next, we will head on over to massivelyoP.com for their articles. And the first one here's 22 minutes of a video explaining what we know about Elyon's beta version so far. And I know I went a little highlighting heavy on this article, but basically for this first part here in this paragraph, essentially the video outlines all your traditional aspects and information about what the MMORPG is about, including PvE, PvE, the classes, the 5-player dungeons that it has, which uses the Trinity system. There seems to be also a bounty hunter system for the PvP aspect of things as well. Also, the lack of gender locking for all classes. So I'll have a link to this article as well as the video if you want to go ahead and check out the details in a more specific manner. But the last paragraph here that I highlighted is probably the one that sets it apart. And it goes on to read that the video also outlines Elyon's instanced housing and how it ties to crafting. High-level crafting stations can be placed in the house, for example. There will also be luxury houses that can be bid upon in the open world and be expanded, though they will have an upkeep cost. The video also confirms that Black Desert-like energy system that is used when performing crafting and gathering skills. Next, from MassivelyOP.com, Heroes of Hammerwatch is a twin-stick multiplayer roguelike RPG arriving to the Xbox and Switch this week, so just wanted to let you know if this is the type of stuff that you are into. And in their next article, Star Citizen fan calls on CIG to post an update on Squadron 42's development progress. And basically, as of recording of this video, they haven't really released any update, although they're probably working on one. I don't know. That's just my assumption, because people are kind of getting, well, you fork over that much money and people really want to see the results, so I'll just say that much. Next, Sandbox MMO Xsyon adopts a litter of pets and goes on sale, and I do apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly. But it does go on to read that the latest patch is one in a series of patches to focus on creatures, combat, and improvements of the game based on the suggestions of the players, the dev said. Players can now feed and tame creatures in the wild. These pets can follow basic commands and be kept and displayed in player-built stables. And really quick, Eve Echoes ties down a launch date of August 13th, shares answers from another AMA. So basically, if you don't know what this is EVE Online, but for the mobile device. But it's a completely different game with a completely different universe, so there's no cross-platform play, unfortunately, with the people on the PC. But I have tried this game out, and I have to say, for a mobile device, the graphics actually do look pretty impressive. And lastly, for MassivelyOP.com, Wurm Online's Steam Surge already prompted devs to open new servers, and they have a new record of over 2,000 concurrent players. And it goes on to read, another update has managed to successfully make the tutorial server its own thing. Previously, the server handled player transfers, logins, and other vital connections, which meant the number of login attempts were making a significant impact to the overall game. With this update, the tutorial server will now be its own server, known as Haven, and should mean faster logins and transfers while freeing up the hardware for players going through the tutorial alone. Next, we'll go ahead and cover some of the articles from MMORPG.com. First one, just wanted to let you know that Atlas patch version 407.2 adds farmhouses, so I know there's a lot of Atlas fans out there that might be interested in this. Next, Ashes of Creation AMA VOD available. Now, Ashes of Creations has been on the news a lot lately, especially now that we had streamers such as Shroud and Summit1G covering this game, and Lazy Peon actually made a really incredible video covering the different aspects of the game that really had the MMO community in hype and excitement. But basically, I just wanted to let you know, as the article says, that the AMA runs about 90 minutes in length and covers off the host of topics, including this non-exhaustive list. And some of the things that they do include are group killings, questing and farming, raid, world dungeons, caravans. Caravans is actually really interesting because you have to, I guess, transfer mats and resources between two locations. You actually hire mercenaries or be a mercenary yourself, which is really pretty crazy, but also cool at the same time, as well as endgame content. And lastly, from MMORPG.com, and another game that I'm really looking forward to, Dual Universe running server load test July 31st. And it goes on to read that all we're asking for you to do is log in the game during this time and share your unique activation code, which can be activated at a total of 5 times. Next, we got 2 articles from GamesRadar.com. Why Fable 4 feels like making a new Star Wars movie, according to Xbox Studio head. I am such a jerk. I am so sorry. I'm trying not to laugh, and you'll see why in a moment. Just want to let you know I am a total a-hole. I do apologize for laughing. I'm just letting it out there. Just being real with you guys, okay? But it does go on to read that Fable 4, which is technically just developer Playground's Fable, is facing the same balancing act as the newest Star Wars movies, as Microsoft Studios head Matt Booty puts it. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Discussing Playground's vision for the series reboot with The Guardian, Booty noted that the studio's designers have a real passion for the IP and a unique point of view. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, Matt. I'm such a jerk. Do you know the amount of bullying this person probably endured for I am so sorry. Basically, this is a reboot. I didn't know it was a reboot. Yeah, I am so sorry. I truly am sorry. And in their next article, Cyberpunk 2077 Pacifica District concept art shows the rusty side of Night City. Welcome to the home of the Voodoo Boys. And that's all I just really wanted to let you know if you want to go ahead and check it out. Next, we got two articles from Gematsu.com. Project Athia, or Athia, is an open world game according to Square Enix president. And he goes on to say that the PlayStation 5 dramatically improves video technology, such as with the implementation of light reflecting ray tracing technology. Compared to what you see on PC, it's nearly identical, which is actually pretty surprising. By utilizing these special traits, we're able to create incredibly precise imagery. We still plan on developing well-balanced games tailored to the platform's traits, including smartphone and cloud-based games, but we will never stop developing for high-end platforms such as the PlayStation 5. And this last statement towards the bottom is the one that actually makes a lot of sense to me. A lot of people are speculating that the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X will be the last consoles for a very long while. Most, if not all, these companies are trying to push cloud gaming and cloud gaming technology because it's a lot cheaper, higher margins, I would assume, but I'm not really into that kind of business. And the only thing really holding consumers back is the speed of the internet that we all have. And I feel like it's actually getting better, especially with Google fiber optics, but we're nowhere near the levels that South Korea has, unfortunately, in my opinion. So, and really quick, strategy RPG Live by the Sword Tactics announced for the PC. And this is due out in early 2021. Next, we got two articles from PCGamer.com that I wanted to cover. Cult Indie RPG Earthlock is getting an action RPG sequel. And it goes on to read that Norwegian developers Snow Castle have announced that they're returning to the world of Earthlock, their 2016 cult game inspired by turn-based 3D RPGs of the 1990s, for a sequel. But here's the thing though. Earthlock 2 will be taking inspiration from action RPGs rather than the turn-based ones, but will still be set in the world of Umbra. Earthlock 2 currently has no release date, but it does have a Steam page, and you can sign up for the newsletter on the Snow Castle Games website. And lastly, from PCGamer.com, Anthem 2.0 concept art reveals a new pirate faction. Christian Daly, studio director at BioWare Austin, recently developed concept art of Pirates of the Bloodwind, a new pirate faction coming to Anthem 2.0, an entirely reworked version of the unsuccessful looter shooter. He also mentions that future blog posts on development will focus on some of the changes around loot and gear. Daly said that he's aware of many questions players currently have and hopes to address them soon. And that concludes today's episode of MMO and RPG News Roundup. I do appreciate it if you made it with me so far because the watch time does help with the algorithms. I really hope I also earned your subscription in today's episode. If so, please consider hitting the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon right next to it, as well as that really tremendously, absolutely helps the channel a lot. But anyways, guys, I will finally let you guys go. I hope you guys have a blessed night, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers again, everyone.